Welcome to the debate of the week, and this is about Rhinos documentary. I know it's a little late, I've been busy today. I'll say this, I did not see RVD's documentary, I forgot all about it. So, looking at Rhinos is quite interesting. He does cover a little bit of what was going on with the WWE, basically saying that he had a chance to get double the pay if he stuck around, but he just didn't want to do it because he wasn't doing anything. He wanted to contribute, he wanted to teach, he wanted to do a lot more than what he was doing there, so that's why he left. His interaction with Gail Kim was pretty damn good. Seeing him interact with RVD and Tommy Dreamer was funny. Particularly knowing that Tommy Dreamer has 20-year-old... what? He says that his... I don't even know how to describe this. He has knee pads, he has shin pads, or whatever, and he's never washed them. Once in 20 years. What? That was a bit of a surprise. I'd heard about it, but I always thought it was a rumor. I didn't think it was true that Tommy had ring gear that he's never washed for 20 years. Knee pads, and I don't think he did elbow pads. It was all about his knee pads and the covers for the knee pads and all that kind of stuff. And he's never washed them once. And everyone smells them and they don't stink. Nice. Oh my goodness. Let's put this in perspective what this really was. Was this funny? Yes, it was. Was it entertaining? Yes, it was. Was it informative? It was. We are looking at a veteran who still has maybe 2 or 5 years left in him. And he decided not to go back to the biggest company, but to go to the smaller companies and to go to a company that, even though it is very rocky, let's be honest, Impact Wrestling is rocky right now. It's not doing 100% great with its production value. Its storytelling has dropped off in the last 9 months. I can say more than a year, but I'm going to be specific for since December of 2018 up until now, the writing has not been good. The booking has not been good. We've had bad booking for Killer Cross, for Moose, for, well, to a certain extent, Brian Cage, but that was due to the fact of his injuries. For Tessa Blanchard, they have major issues. Even though she's still hot, there's major issues and there's no way of knowing how bad it's going to be going into October. This doesn't really cover much of that at all. It talks about the best things about Impact, which is the smartest thing to do. You're going to accentuate the positives and hide the negatives, just like Paulie's always said. But it does show the wear and tear that you get. Ace Austin sitting next to a Rhino and basically saying that this guy's important was very important to me personally. Not just because Ace Austin is a top talent or isn't a top talent. He's trying to help the new talent. Putting them over in his own documentary or being honest about them being in his own documentary. That is how it feels. I would recommend you watch it. It's got some foul language in it, so if you're the type that doesn't like cursing, well, sorry, you're going to get Rhino cursing, which I find is so nice. That's being unplugged. Always when it comes to the WWE stuff, which is basically understandable, they let it be seen to all people. Young children, teenagers, adults, full-grown adults, older generation, it doesn't make a difference. They just let it go to anybody. They don't say it's mature. Now, I do believe this would be considered mature, and I do believe it's the best thing to see. Anybody who wants to know the ins or outs of Rhino, well, not 100%, but at least enough, you can say, I saw this, and it made a lot of sense why Rhino did what he did. Now, will this translate into Rhino getting a push? I don't know. I'm going to be honest here. Many documentaries usually means that person's being spotlighted. That means they may be getting an actual push eventually, or they are being pushed. That's how the WWE has always done it. And Impact has also done it to a certain extent. Look what happened with Sienna, the last one that I actually did a review of. And I've never really said this much, but when I did my review of Sienna, which was like about 3 years ago, maybe 4 at the most, I was actually contacted by a member of Impact Now, at that time, I was not in a very good mindset. I'm not going to lie about that. My mindset, because of my depression and anxiety, was not very good. So the person that actually mentioned me, probably to the people there, not like they were contacting me a lot. The very guy who was part of Anthem at the time was very happy to hear that someone did a review of Sienna and clarified that this wasn't just part of Impact, this was also part of Fight Network. And he said, hey, if you want to have some type of dealing between one another, contact me. Here's my email address. But I never got back to him. Mainly due to the fact I just wasn't in a very good place at the time. I'm not the type of person, at least particularly about 4 years ago, I'm not the type of person that likes, if it's something really new, it does shake me pretty good. And it makes me extremely nervous. And particularly if I think I'm not doing a very good job, I'm not going to go for it, period. If I don't think I'm doing a good job, I believe I got to work harder first before I earn what I got. That's how I used to do it when I was working. And even now, here, doing these videos, I try my best to do a good job for these videos. I'm not perfect. No one is. But at least you put your best effort in it, try to be as focused as possible, and try to be as clear as possible in your work. And when I was contacted, I just wasn't there. And that's why I never got back with the guy. Not saying that anything would happen, but at least I was contacted by someone from Anthem who was connected to Impact at the time. And it did mean something. It did mean a lot to me. And I'm very thankful I was seen. So when it came to this documentary, I say this to anyone. Watch it. Yes, it's going to have some foul language in it. There's going to be some cursing. But you will get a good idea of how much Rhino and a lot of people there really do have some great level of respect for him. Scott Demont, Don Collis, you got Gail Kim talking with him. You got the boys from ECW, RVD, you got Rhino, and you got Tommy Dreamer all talking, screwing one another. And it was fun, that interaction. But this is just my point of view. You guys have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!